Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, lifeguard accused of robbing villa guests. A lifeguard has been charged by police after he allegedly broke into a villa in Trelawney and stole items belonging to guests staying there. 38-year-old Anthony Maraj of Kerry Park District, Duncan's Trelawney, is charged with burglary and larceny following the July 19 incident. The Falmouth police say about 11:30 p.m., a woman and two teenagers who were guests at a villa locked their quarters and retired to bed. The woman was later awakened by someone's presence and saw a man in the room going through her belongings. The police say she made an alarm and the man ran out of the room and escaped through the kitchen door. The other occupants of the villa woke up, checked their belongings, and discovered that their properties, such as laptop, computers, cellular phones, and bank cards, were also missing. A report was made to the police and an investigation was launched. During the investigation, closed-circuit television footage was viewed, which reportedly showed Maraj as a suspect. He then turned himself into the police, after which he was charged. His court date has not been finalized. Spanish Town truck driver freed of larceny charge. 47-year-old truck driver Andrew Amos, who was accused of stealing over $300,000 worth of goods from his employer, was freed in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Wednesday after the Crown offered no evidence against him. Amos was answering to a charge of larceny as a servant. When the matter came up in court, the Crown conceded that it would be challenging to mount a successful prosecution. Acting Senior Parish Court Judge Janelle Nelson Gale then told the accused he did not have a case to answer and was free to go. He has been charged with larceny as a servant following a series of incidents that occurred between January 28 and February 28. Reports from the Spanish Town Police indicated that Amos, who was employed as a truck driver, was entrusted with the delivery of several items valued at $335,466.88. However, the goods were allegedly never delivered. When confronted about the missing items, Amos allegedly failed to provide a satisfactory explanation for their disappearance. A report was made to the police, leading to his arrest and charge. He made numerous court appearances and maintained his innocence throughout. He was represented by attorneys at law Sheldon Campbell and Abina Morris. 2 injured after truck overturns off Winston Jones Highway. 2 men, including a truck driver, have been hospitalized after the vehicle they were traveling in overturned off the Winston Jones Highway in Manchester on Thursday morning. Preliminary reports are that about 10 a.m., the men were aboard the truck when the unit apparently developed mechanical problems. "We were on our way coming down the hill, and the truck driver was just saying, 'Take away on yourself,' and when we look, it's pure smoke under the truck, and eventually we end up past it. We never know that it would mash up," a motorist told a journalist at the crash scene. "If it was traffic coming down, it would be chaos. We'd have a lot of deaths, but thank God," he added. Another motorist likened the crash to a natural disaster. "I don't see when the crash happened, but it's like a hurricane passed through. It is a total disaster. The truck is completely destroyed," he said. The truck driver and the male passenger were taken from the wreckage by passers-by and taken to hospital by the police. Firefighters also responded to the incident. The injured men have been admitted in serious but stable condition. 3 companies fined $20 million for unlawfully collecting GCT. 3 companies have been fined a total of $20 million for collecting general consumption tax from their customers while not being registered to do so. Tax Administration Jamaica, through its intelligence investigation and enforcement unit and the legal team, recently prosecuted New Panda Food Limited, Bodyscape Rejuvenation Center Limited, and the Castillo Funny Club Entertainment for breaching Section 56(5) of the General Consumption Tax Act. That section of the law states that a person not being a registered taxpayer who collects a tax commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction in a resident magistrate's court to a fine not exceeding $5 million or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 12 months or to both such a fine and imprisonment. TAJ says during the period February 28, 2025 and March 12, 2025, the taxpayer New Panda Food Limited unlawfully collected GCT from its customers while not being registered to do so. Consequently, 2 charges were brought against the company. On July 23, 2025, New Panda Food Limited, by way of its director Dong Wang, pleaded guilty to both counts in the Sutton Street Tax Court in Kingston. Counsel representing the company stated that, as part of their plea mitigation, the company, which started in 2023, was given bad advice and has since been registered. The company was fined $1 million, and the failure to pay the fine would result in the director facing 60 days imprisonment. In relation to Bodyscape Rejuvenation Center Limited, the court was told that on February 26, 2025 and March 8, 2025, the entity located at Mannings Hill Road in St. Andrew unlawfully collected general consumption tax from its customers while not being a registered taxpayer. The company was charged with 2 counts of collecting GCT. The company, through its director, Chantal Lee Barrett, pleaded guilty on July 23, 2025 to the offenses in the Sutton Street Tax Court in Kingston. The company was charged $3 million for the offense. Failure to pay would result in the director facing 90 days imprisonment. TAJ says the fines were subsequently paid. Meanwhile, Montego Bay businessman Wellington America Costello Guerrero, trading as Costello Funny Club Entertainment, pleaded guilty in the St. James Parish Court to 12 breaches of Section 56(5) of the General Consumption Tax Act for collecting GCT without being registered. The court was told that during the auditing process, anomalies were discovered by the audit team, which uncovered significant underreporting. The matter was subsequently reported to the Intelligence Investigation and Enforcement Unit. TAJ, through its legal unit, told the court that for the years 2020 to 2022, the taxpayer provided entertainment services for several hotels in St. James and Trelawney. It was further stated that he collected approximately $15 million in GCT while being an unregistered taxpayer. The taxpayer was fined $17 million for 12 offenses. Failure to pay would result in 6 months in prison. The fine was subsequently paid. Tax Administration Jamaica is reminding all business operators and the self-employed individuals that registration for GCT is mandatory once their taxable turnover exceeds the threshold of $15 million annually. Additionally, taxpayers who collect taxes on behalf of the government are legally obligated to remit those funds in full and on time. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.